A couple days ago, I covered the billion-dollar Minnesota fraud story that was captured by Nick Shirley. And today, I'm bringing the response from the same institution that Nick Shirley had audited. They've responded. And then also a clip from a man who claims to own multiple daycare centers who has now been affected as a result of Nick Shirley's findings. His daycare centers are now being defunded as well. So I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Are these just like a cop-out, or are they valid?
We're after school hours. So most of our clients, not most of our clients, all of our clients is after school hours. So schools, earliest dismissal would be 2:15 to 2:30ish, and the latest dismissal would be up to like 4:30ish, 4:40ish. So that's when our kids come to us. We don't have anyone in the morning.
Right. So I don't know what you guys have to say about that one. Like, he claims that Nick and his crew, they might have gone there during their non-operational hours. But if you remember in that clip, they didn't even want to answer any of Nick and his team's questions. They shut them out, which gave the impression that they had something to hide. I'm looking at this from a neutral standpoint. I have no dog in the fight, and I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Do you agree with this owner's explanation, or do you think that he's just making excuses? Let's talk about it down in the comments below. We're going to dive into the final clip here.
I own 65 daycare centers in Minnesota, and we are now having all of our funding taken away because of some misinformation posted on X by a random guy calling himself a journalist, saying that this is fraud, that $19 billion is too much to run thousands of daycare centers for people in Minnesota. And yes, the Somali community has a lot of kids, so they need a lot of daycare centers. Do you know how much crayons cost, Elon? Do you know how much tables, chairs, security, heating, food, educational books and documents cost? They cost a lot of money. I'm spending $50 million a month on my daycare centers. And yes, they are empty because we are waiting for the children to come. And yes, some of them are in sheds and shacks because we don't have enough money to fund all of the.
Whoa, 50 million a month? I guess I'm not in the daycare center business. But I don't believe that Nick Shirley and his crew, they were questioning how much, excuse me, I'm coming down with a really bad code. I don't believe that Nick and his crew, they're questioning how much it costs to run a daycare center. I think their question was, where are the children in the daycare center? That was their question. And they got shut out. Now, I don't believe that they've audited any of these gentlemen's facilities. And I'll be curious to know if they intend to go and audit him as well, just to see if it makes any sense how they're spending $50 million a month.
Daycare centers. We need more cash, not less. And Tim Walz has done everything he can to make sure we get that cash. And now you want to take it away because of some misinformation you made up? Because you don't like the fact that those of us in Minnesota and the Somali community need more daycare centers because the kids need somewhere to learn, somewhere to grow, somewhere to be while the parents are at work? It's not okay. You can't just shut us down. I take a salary because I need to get to work. I need 2 cars, one for work and one to get things to work because I'm the one running 65 daycare centers on my own. What am I supposed to do? I need clothes. I need a roof over my head. I need a spare apartment near the daycare center so I can go home and, brush up on what I need to teach. These are necessities. Expensive necessities so people can have daycare. And now it's gone. I hope you're happy.
Well, so I don't know what you guys have to say about that one. He claims that it's so that like the parents can go to work. Right, but then in the other daycare, he says that they start after 4:30 p.m. So I guess maybe the parents are going to work later on in the day. I really don't know. I'm not an investigative journalist, but I did notice that video from Nick Shirley has now been brought down. At least I couldn't open it today on his Instagram page. I tried to open that same clip where he audited the first learning center, and I noticed that they said this video cannot be played. So I guess they brought it down. They've already labeled it misinformation. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not like an investigator, right? Just bringing it to you guys so we can talk about it in the comment section and make sense of it, right? Because nobody really knows what's going on behind the scenes. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Be sure to give this video a like and a subscribe. And until next time, peace.